We're going to begin our modified primary series today. So an Ashtanga practice, taking some of the vinyasas out. We'll begin standing at the top of the mat. Holding these postures for 3 to 5 rounds of breath. I'll be moving maybe a little bit quicker today to get us through the practice. You can use this as a home practice. It's really, really wonderful set of postures that will leave you feeling like you've done something, your body's done some exercise, but also letting you feel really grounded, not depleted. We'll start with Surya Namaskar A. Typically you can do 5. We'll do 3 today. Inhale, reach up, gaze up. Exhale, forward fold, hinge at the hips, gaze down towards your big toes. Inhale, peek up halfway, gaze past the tip of the nose. Exhale, step back to plank. Chaturanga, or knees, chest, chin. Bend the elbows. Inhale, upward facing dog. Draw your shoulders back, hips and wrists towards each other. Tuck the chin, tuck the toes. Downward facing dog. Stay for 5 deep rounds of breath here, allowing your breath to stay connected, that Ujjayi pranayama. Looking back at those feet, we'll inhale, lift the heels. Exhale, bend the knees, gaze forward. And inhale, step or hop to the front of the mat, peek up halfway. Exhale, bow back in. Inhale, come up to stand. Exhale, hands to the heart. 2 more rounds. Inhale, reach up, gaze up. Exhale, forward fold, gaze down towards the toes. Inhale, peek up halfway. Exhale, you can step or hop back. Float back. Inhale, upward facing. Exhale, tuck the chin, tuck the toes, downward facing. In 5 deep breaths here, downward facing dog. You can always leave the chaturangas out, again, modifying as you would like to. Inhale, lift the heels. Exhale, bend the knees, gaze forward. Inhale, to the top of the mat, peek up, lengthen. Exhale, bow back in. Inhale, come up to stand. Exhale, hands to the heart. Surya Namaskar A, warming the body up. Inhale, reach up, gaze up. And exhale, forward fold. Gaze down towards the toes. Inhale, peek up halfway. Exhale, step, hop, or float back. Knees, chest, chin, or chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing. Really savor that in-breath. Roll your shoulders back. Tuck the chin, tuck the toes. Exhale, downward facing. Steady breathing here. If your breath feels rushed, your mind, your body will feel rushed. You won't enjoy the practice. Take your time, slow down. Inhale, lift the heels. Exhale, bend the knees, gaze forward. Inhale, making your way to the top of the mat, peek up, lengthen. Exhale, bow back in. Inhale, reach the arms up. Exhale, hands to the heart. Moving on, Surya Namaskar B. Typically you would do 5 rounds. We're going to do 2 today. It is quite a bit of a different energetic transformation from A to B. Inhale, chair pose, Utkatasana. Exhale, forward fold, gaze down to those toes. Inhale, peek up halfway, gaze past the tip of the nose. Exhale, step back to plank, knees, chest, chin, or chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing. Tuck the chin, tuck the toes. Exhale, downward facing, ground your left foot. Step the right foot forward on an inhale. Same inhale, rise all the way up, slow, controlled breathing. Follow the exhale all the way down. Same exhale, right foot steps back. Maybe you float the right leg, chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing. Exhale, downward facing. Turning the right heel in, inhale, step the left foot forward, warrior 1. Same inhale, rise all the way up. Control that breath. Exhale, hands come all the way down. Same exhale, left foot steps back. Maybe you float the leg, chaturanga. Your next inhale is upward facing. Exhale, downward facing. 5 rounds of breath here. Again, finding that nice cadence, that balanced breathing, sticking with that Ujjayi pranayama. Looking back at those feet, inhale, lift the heels. Exhale, bend the knees, gaze forward. Inhale, to the top of the mat, peek up halfway. Exhale, bow back in, sit the hips low, chair pose, Utkatasana. Same inhale, come up to stand. Exhale, hands to the heart. Second round, we'll add in a little bit of a Kundiyasana. which is a way to conserve energy. If you were doing 5 of these, you'd probably want to speed them up a little bit. It'll be a way for us to add a little arm balance, a little spiciness to our practice. Chair pose, Utkatasana, inhale. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, peek up halfway. Exhale, chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing. Exhale, downward facing. Step that right foot forward. Inhale, warrior one. So as you exhale, we're going to take the hands to the inside of the right foot, right arm tucks under the right leg. Right leg sweeps out, maybe left elbow tucks under your hip. And you just sweep your right leg right back. Inhale, upward. Exhale, downward. Same thing, other side, left foot forward. Inhale, nice controlled breath, warrior one. Exhale, left arm under the left leg. Shifting forward, really stretch through those toes. Shoot that left leg back. Inhale, exhale, down dog. Find those nice 5 rounds of breath here. So feeling pretty warmed up. If you want to continue to do more Surya Namaskara B, finding that energetic difference as you control the breathing. Moving on into our standing series. Inhale, lift the heels. Exhale, bend the knees, gaze forward. Inhale, top of the mat, peek up, lengthen. Exhale, bow back in. Chair pose. Finish that Surya Namaskara B here, all the way up to stand, hands to the heart. We'll take our hands on our hips. Step the feet out about hip distance, coming into Padangusthasana, hands to feet pose. Inhale, lift the heart. Exhale, forward fold. Hook your big toes with your middle and index finger. Bend the knees, get your belly towards your thighs. Inhale, little peek up halfway. Spine is long, knees are bent, bypassing those hamstrings. Pull the elbows out to the side, sandwich the belly towards the thighs, gaze towards your big toes, and just breathe here. Feel your toes pushing into your fingers pulling up gently on the toes. Moving from Padangusthasana into Padahastasana. Release the bind, inhale, peek up halfway. You're going to take a deep bend to your knees and shovel your palms underneath the soles of your feet. Separate your pointer finger and your middle finger so there's space for your hands to go around the heel. Toes come right up to the back of your wrist or the back of your watch. Feet push into hands, hands reciprocate and push back up into those feet. Legs are a little bit straighter this time, targeting more hamstrings. Let your head hang heavy, and then start to bend your elbows towards the top of your yoga mat. Maybe beginning to pull the spine up. Steady breathing here, keeping the weight forward in those toes. Your toes are gripping down into the wrist crease. To release the bind, bend the knees, take the hands out. Inhale, peek up halfway. Exhale, hands to hips. Inhale, rise up slow. Exhale, feet together, hands to heart. So in a typical full primary series, you would do a posture and a chaturanga. A posture, a chaturanga. We're going to sandwich a bunch of postures together and then do a chaturanga. So it kind of speeds up the practice a little bit, but take your time. We're going to step the right foot out, pivoting your right toes to the back of the yoga mat. Arms come out to a T, triangle pose, Trikonasana. Firm up the thighs, shift the hips back, extend the rib cage. Right arm down, maybe to a block, a shin. If you can hook your big toe, hooking the big toe and pulling up on it as you lean back. Left hip opens up as much as it can. Left arm reaches up towards the sky. 3 to 5 rounds of breath here. Exhale, gaze down. Slight bend to the right knee. Inhale, rise back up. Slowly pivot around, left toes towards the front of the mat. Triangle pose, other side, Uddiyana Trikonasana. Right arm stretches up, left hand could be on a block, a slightly bent left knee. You're rolling your rib cage open as much as you can. Steady breathing, trying to keep the back of the neck long in line with the rest of the spine. Exhale, gaze down. Inhale, rise back up. Exhale, pivoting back to the back of the mat, revolve, triangle pose, right hand to your low back. Stretch that left arm up. Your hips are your center of gravity. Pull that right hip back. Hinge forward. Revolve triangle. Now your left hand might come down to the inside of your right foot, the front of your toes. Over time, you're trying to get the palm outside the pinky edge of that right foot. Right hip hugs back. Squeeze the inner thighs, Mula Bandha. Right arm reaches up, lengthen the back of the neck. Maybe start to gaze up to your right palm. Steady breathing here. Give the body time to feel the pose. Exhale, gaze down, slight bend to the right knee. Inhale, rise back up, pivoting around to the front of the yoga mat. Left hand on the low back, square the hips. Lengthen forward, revolve, triangle. So you're really twisting the cage of the ribs over that left hip. But your belly button's pulling back in the opposite direction here. Lengthening the back of the neck, encouraging that back heel to root down. The hamstrings are very tight. The more you bend your knees, it will give you more freedom to stabilize your hips. Exhale, gaze down. Inhale, rise back up. And exhale, hands to heart. Take a deep breath in. Step that right foot back out. Slowly pivot around like you're setting it for warrior two, but we're coming into extended side angle. Right forearm to the right thigh, left arm up and over, or that right hand makes its way down to the inside of the right foot. Straighten through that left elbow. Your palm is facing the floor, or you're turning the bicep and drawing that left shoulder over the chin. You can always take a bind here if you'd like to take that right arm under the leg. Exhale, gaze down. Inhale, rise up. Pivot around. Extended side angle. Other side. So kind of gathering, we do the posture on one side, and then we do it on the other side. Steady breathing here. Left heel roots, front toes are light, pressing into the pinky edge of your back foot, making that back leg strong. Exhale, gaze down. Inhale, rise up. Pivot back around to the back of the mat. Revolve side angle. So with the back foot down, we're trying to bring that left elbow outside the right thigh. That can be a lot. Feel free to lift that back heel. Hook the left elbow, hands to the heart. This is a lot, it feels really tight. Set your back knee down, draw your hips back. Start with the twist there, and then maybe lift that back leg, coming into it a little bit deeper. And we could always practice a bind here again as well if you'd like to. Exhale, gaze down. Slowly rise back up, pivoting back around to the front of the mat. Back foot could be down. Come onto the ball of that back foot. Revolve, side angle, twisting. Left hip hugs back, squeeze the inner thighs, lengthen the spine. And with each breath, giving yourself plenty of time to feel the pose. Exhale, gaze down. Inhale, top of the mat. Setting it for Prasarita. So this is a wide leg forward fold. We'll step that left foot out. Arms come to a T. Lift the heart, shift the hips forward, squeeze the feet towards each other. Tilt just the pelvis as you start to hinge here. Land the hands in between the feet. Elbows are bent like chaturanga. Inhale, peek up halfway. Exhale, bow back in. So there are 4 variations to this. If you are just practicing for a little bit of time, feel free to just do one variation. The way is you'll inhale, peek up halfway. Exhale, arms to a T. Inhale, rise back up. Prasarita B, hands to the hips, elbows together. Lift the heart, tilt the pelvis, hinge. Keeping the hands on those hips, elbows squeezing together, really lengthening to the backs of the legs. Engage your quadriceps if you can, pressing out to the backs of the knees. Inhale, rise back up. Exhale, arms down by your side. Taking a bind, lacing up the hands behind the back if you'd like to. Shifting those hips forward. Inhale, lift the chest. Coming into Prasarita C. The wrists stay at the low back until your torso comes all the way down. Once you hit that point, use the arms like a lever and start to drop them up overhead. Shifting the hips forward, engage your core here, almost like you were doing a sit-up. Last variation, we're bringing those wrists back to the low back. Inhale, rise back up. Exhale, release the hands. Inhale, arms out to a T, lift the heart. This one, as you hinge forward, we'll start to take a bind, hooking the big toes here. Inhale, peek up halfway. Bending those elbows out to the side, draw the chest towards the thighs, and then think about wrapping those elbows around the backs of your legs. Forehead towards the earth. Really nice. Inhale, peek up halfway. Exhale, hands to hips. Inhale, rise back up. You'll meet yourself back at the top of the mat. Nice. So almost finished with the standing series. Coming into a forehead to knee variation, you can have your hands at your heart. Or if you'd like to practice reverse namaste, you might start with your hands down at your low back, working on bringing those palms together, fingertips point up. Maybe you work the hands up a little bit more, eventually working on bringing those hands behind the shoulder blades. Feel your elbows press back to keep the chest open. Lift the heart. We're going to step the right foot towards the mirror, pivot to the back of the mat. So short stance here, all 10 toes point forward, square the hips, lift the chest. Leading with your heart, elbows are pressing back behind you. Mindfully start to hinge forward. Think about closing the body like a book, belly to thigh, chest towards the knee, maybe chin down towards the shins. Elbows are still pressing towards the back. Nice. You can always bend those knees here as well. Hamstrings are really tight when you bend the knees. You bypass them, giving you more freedom in your spine. Rise up nice and slow, keeping the elbows pressing away from your chest is open. Pivot around to the front of the room. Lift the heart, square the hips, and slowly hinge in the other direction. That left hip is going to keep pulling back. Right hip pushes down. Hips are the center of gravity. Leading with your chin, elbows pressing away from the spine, almost like the elbows could touch behind your back. Really nice. Inhale, rise back up. Meet your feet, hands to heart. Really nice. Coming into tree pose. Right leg is strong. Opening up at the hip, left foot might find the right ankle here. Or you can take the foot up to the hip crease. Standing up nice and tall, you might find you can come into half lotus, bringing the pinky edge of the foot in. Eventually, Ashtanga is a practice that builds on it, so there's always another variation. There's never really an end to a pose. You might wrap the arm behind, seeing if you can take your left hand to your left toes. Nice. And then repeating on the other side. So whether it's just lifting the right heel, taking it out, you want to have everything come into the midline of the body. So your ankle pushes into your foot into your ankle. Left heel stamps, hamstring is tight, chest is proud. Whatever variation you're finding. If you're thinking about joining half lotus, you can always think about like a half happy baby, and that gets the knee back behind the hip so that we're using the ball and socket joint to come into the pose, not compromising the hinge at the knee. Toes would wrap around the left thigh, knee pushes back, hips push forward. Really nice. Steady breathing, steady focus. Slowly release. Back to the top of the mat. We're going to come back into another chaturanga here, heating the body back up, almost done with standing series. Inhale, reach up, maybe gaze up. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, peek up halfway. Exhale, optional chaturanga. Inhale, lift the chest. Exhale, downward facing. Left foot stays planted, right foot steps forward, coming back into warrior one. Relax the shoulders. Again, 5 deep rounds of breath here. Palms are touching. Try not to interlace any fingers. Your thumbs might gently cross. Elbows are straight, chest is lifted. We're going to keep the arms up above the head and just pivot around to the back of the mat. Warrior one, other side. Steady breathing. Open up warrior two, staying at the back of the mat. Gaze is soft over the fingertips. Front toes are light, heels gently draw towards each other. Biceps, triceps are strong. Keeping the arms strong, pivot the feet around. Warrior two to the front of the mat. Step to the top of the mat, chair pose, Utkatasana. Exhale, forward fold. So moving into our floor series here. Inhale, peek up halfway. Optional vinyasa. Inhale, lift the heart. Exhale, downward facing. We're going to come onto our seat. In this practice, you can work on jump through to your seat. A couple different ways to do that if you're practicing. Just take your right foot behind your left wrist. Left foot behind the right wrist so your ankles are crossed. Bend your knees. Lower your seat down. Maybe see if you can float the legs. And come all the way down. Coming to Paschimottanasana A. Inhale, reach the arms up overhead. Exhale, forward fold. Nice long spine here. Start to let the head drop in. Inhale, peek up halfway. Maybe change the bind. You might hook the big toes or plant the hands over the feet again, just like we did in our first forward fold. Bending the elbows back down or maybe taking a bind around those feet. Coming into reverse plank Purvanottasana. Point the toes. Try to seal the soles of the feet as close to the floor as possible. Hands behind the shoulders, fingers point forward, elbows are straight, lift the heart. Now you can keep your seat down or see if you can lift the hips. Gaze is up, or maybe your head starts to drop back. Steady breathing here. So on the floor series, we're going to do a couple more chaturangas in between each pose, kind of adding a line together. Lower the hips down. We're going to start to jump back again and come into boat pose. Cross the ankles, hug the knees in. Similar to when we walked forward. Hands come forward and step the left foot back, right foot back. Chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing. Exhale, downward facing. Coming right back onto our seat. Making your way to the top of the mat. Coming to Triangle Kapada, Paschimottanasana. So your right leg's going to stay out long. You're going to bend the left knee, trying to keep the kneecaps close together. Left toes pointed back, so like a half euro on one side. Sitting up on a block is a really nice way to allow your body a little more access in this pose. But whatever works for you. Flex the right toes, reach the arms up overhead, and lean forward, taking your hands around that extended leg. Maybe drop the head in here, drop the left shoulder. We'll rise up, we're gonna switch it out, other side. Lengthening the left leg, bending the right knee. Setting yourself up, trying to fold over that left extended leg. Dropping that right shoulder. We'll come back out, another chaturanga if you'd like to, maybe boat pose. And if you're having fun with this jump back, with the tops of your feet down, ankles crossed, you can use your feet kind of like a little springboard here. And if you're comfortable jumping back, you'll float back. Inhale, upward facing. Exhale, downward facing. You guessed it, we're coming right back onto our seat. Janu Shirsasana A. Right leg is out long, so the left foot is bent. Folding over that right leg, drop the left shoulder. You might see how it feels to flex your right toes or engage your right thigh. Engaging the top of your thigh is going to help safely lengthen the back of the hamstring. We'll switch it out, other side. Folding over that left leg. Drop the right shoulder a little bit. You can also bend the knee. These postures, yoga just meets you where you are. We'll rise up slow. We're going to switch the right leg back out long. So Janu Shirsasana B. We're seeing if we can bring the top of the foot down so your toes are down and your heel kind of comes in and hugs the inside of the right thigh. So your heel is up, preparing you for a half lotus. Turn the chest. As you fold over the right leg, the upper body doesn't have quite as much freedom. Drop the left shoulder, really targeting a deep stretch at the sole of that left foot. Rise back up, we'll switch it out. I'll kind of turn to a better view. Left leg is out long. So we're bringing the toes of the right foot down. Heel is up, and the arch of the foot is kind of snuggling right into the inner thigh. Right knee is down, and this is only as much as your body can hold on to. If this is a lot, you could also just hold the foot here and start to work on bringing those toes back, almost like a prep for toes pose. Coming forward over that left leg. Rise back up. We're going to come back into boat pose. Another option for chaturanga. If you have enough of these, feel free to leave them out. Otherwise, continue to build. Maybe you fold those legs back. Inhale, upward facing. Exhale, downward facing. Coming back onto our seat again. We'll come forward. Marichi Asana A. Extending that left leg out long. Right knee is bent. We're going to see if we can take our right hand to the inside of the left foot. So now our right elbow is pushing the right knee out of the way a little bit. As you lean forward, sweep that right arm out. If your elbow passes your shin, bend the elbow and see if you can reach that right hand behind your back. Left hand behind your back, maybe you bind, or you might grab a towel or a strap there. Try to straighten the left elbow, lift the chest, and hinge forward. And just breathe. And these binds, not necessary. You're just doing the best. You might just be staying upright, just pushing that right knee back. Let's switch out the legs. Right side, left side might feel very different. So left foot is about maybe a hand width away from the right thigh. Left arm reaches up. You're stretching forward as much as you can so your hand is close to the right foot. And then you're sweeping it really low out and around. Maybe you bend the elbow. Maybe you take a bind. Over time with the bind, you're working on straightening the elbows or maybe letting your hand capture the wrist or like a couple fingers. You don't want a lot of tension hooking fingers. Maybe left hand just grabs like a bundle of fingertips and you start to hinge forward. Rise back up. And as it progresses, it gets a little bit more challenging. Marichyasana C. Similar setup here. Just finding it as a twist. So left leg is long. This is the foundation. Right knee is in. Right hand's behind you. You're going to reach the left arm up. See if you can take your left arm outside your right leg. Maybe wrap the arm around for a bind. This one's very challenging for me. I'm nowhere close to binding at all, but it's not going to stop you from trying. You can find a little bit of a twist here and then switch the legs out. Right arm lifts up. You're twisting. Maybe you're hooking the arm. Maybe you're taking a bind. Come back through center. Come back to boat pose. Another chaturanga if you would like. Stepping it back, lowering it down. These will keep you nice and warm through the practice. Coming towards the last couple postures here, you guys are doing great. Baddha Konasana, butterfly pose. So soles of the feet touch. Your hands might find your feet. Maybe they find the ankles. Lift the heart. Hinge forward. You can focus on a rounded spine. Other option is to have a flat spine. Really whatever feels best for you. In this modified series, we're only doing a couple of poses. Full primary, you would do quite a few more variations of each pose. Come back up, getting really good at these jump backs here, or practicing the transition from chaturanga, up dog, down dog. So we're going to be coming all the way onto our back for Supta Asta Padangusthasana. We're going to make our way back to the top of the mat, coming onto your seat and reclining all the way down. Having a strap is always really nice for this pose. What we're working on doing is binding our big toe with the middle and index finger, keeping the right shoulder close to the mat so that it's not peeling off. You're flexing the right foot, and then opening up at the hip, you're taking the right leg all the way out across the body. Maybe your gaze can shift to the left, but you want your lower back to stay grounded. So if that left hip is trying to lift, press that left hand on the left hip point. We'll come back up through center, pause, start to bow over that right leg. Maybe you float the left leg a little bit. And then we'll switch. Right leg comes down, left leg comes up. So in a full primary series, you do this standing as well. So it's really nice to see how the body feels grounded when we're starting to take that toe bind, opening up at the hip. Encouraging the toes to draw up towards the shoulder, the leg is long, and your toes are down, your heel is up. Letting this posture happen at that ball and socket joint. And coming back up through center, this is a really nice one to hold for longer too if you have the time. And then we're just bending that left elbow, forehead towards the knee. Maybe you float the right leg. Push your low back down. We'll lower down, lower the head. Left leg comes down. Starting to prep for a little bit of a back bend. You can always have blocks nearby you for any sort of back bending. So starting with just a hip bridge, walk your feet in towards your hips, reach your fingertips down like you're going to touch your heels, press the low back down, maybe lift the hips. It doesn't have to be a huge back bend. Strengthening the legs, you could always have a block under your back, set your hips back down, supported back bend. In this practice, eventually we'll be working into wheel pose, which is a full back bend. You want to keep the femur bones parallel. So as you lift your hips, if your knees are winging out, maybe turn your toes in just a little, keeping those femur bones parallel. Gaze is soft towards the ceiling. You can stay with your arms down, or you start to reach your hands up. You're going to bend the elbows. Your thumbs might find your cheekbones, and then slide your hands right onto the floor so your thumbs are outside your ears. Now, if your elbows are leaning out, kind of turn your fingertips towards the edges of the mat. Pressing into the feet, gaze towards the ceiling, start to press into the shoulders, the head. Maybe your shoulders lift and your head is down, your hands are down. You might start to straighten the arms. Eventually straightening the elbows, hips are lifted. Maintaining length through your spine as you're compressing it. You could always explore bending elbows or knees, or walking the feet in a little bit more, or walking your hands in a little bit more. Lowering back down. So if you can, doing 3 sets of the back bend. Might be just 3 little hip bridges. Maybe you start to get the shoulders involved and see where that feels okay. But you want your body to know that it's intentional, giving your body some time to respond, to feel safe and supported. Finding your breath in between, and then finding one more round if you would like to. Eventually, you might start to work on bringing a knee into the chest, maybe extending the leg up. You bring your knee bent in first, and then you shoot that leg up. Lowering back down. We'll neutralize the spine by hugging the knees in. Letting whatever comes up in the body dissolve for a couple of rounds of breath. We'll make our way back up to a seat. Some of these postures can get a little complex, so we're coming back into Paschimottanasana, continuing to neutralize the low back. We're working into Padmasana, or a lotus pose, where you can find yourself just seated cross-legged. You sit up nice and tall, and just take 25 rounds of breath. Just kind of leading yourself out of the practice back into this little meditation, grounding yourself in. Or if you practice half lotus, you can start to take the left foot on top of the right thigh, right foot on top of the left thigh. Sit the hips down, or you can start to press your hands down into the floor and lift your hips, finding your 25 rounds of breath here. Adding into that with Utthapitihi, which is very similar to skull shining breath, or Kapalabhati, which is a series of exhales out of the nose, kind of. You can do that with your hips down. If you lift the hips, 10 to 25 rounds, heating the body up just one more time, and then slowly releasing and letting yourself come back into Shavasana. Close the eyes. Come back to the meaning of the practice. We're just finding our breath. Bandhas, relaxing all those bandhas here. And your point of drishti, your gaze might be right past the tip of the nose. Maybe your eyes are closed and you're just focusing on the amplified rhythm of your heart. Giving yourself stillness in the body. And noticing if something so still is so busy in the mind. Stay focused on the breath. You can let go of that Ujjayi pranayama. Just let yourself be. Finding the true nature of your being. Obviously, Shavasana as long as you can. If you stuck with this whole practice today, we thank you so much. If we can't have you in class, we'd love to see you on our YouTube channel, and stay tuned for more videos.